to the expenses of the existing one. We have witnessed this before. It's not the first time, Honorable Speaker. And I would like to refer, or otherwise to give an example of the mass housing. That mass housing scheme, as it was approved by Cabinet in 2023 to start off in 2024, and the purpose was to provide, otherwise to build 185 houses. But how many houses were built by this particular scheme? Therefore, from the mass housing that have just unleashed individuals to the corruption scandals of fisheries, the Marine Act was eventually amended in this House, approved by this House to give power to a certain minister or individual person to issue quotas of fishing rights. And what happened? What was the end result? Therefore, Honorable Speaker, before one vote of a failed hill, another scheme is introduced, and I'm referring to the oil and gas that is being introduced. This bill risks becoming yet another example of governance by personal agenda, rather than genuine national policies or constitutional honor. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, prosperity cannot be achieved through perpetual institutional reset. It requires continuity, predictability, and the respect for long-term national framework, irrespective of who occupies that highest office of the land. System should outlive all leaders. Honorable Speaker, most importantly, this House must carefully consider the principle of rule of law. And it should be rule of law, not rule of men. The Petroleum Act of 1991 was designed to vest the regulatory authority within the ministerial and statutory framework subject to parliamentary oversight. A lot has mentioned, many of us have mentioned already about Article 41, ministerial accountability. And I believe there is no doubt about it. We can be able to motivate this particular bill, but we need to be honest, fellow Namibians. Concentrating executive and regulatory powers in the office of the President raise serious constitutional concerns regarding the separation of power, the check and the balances, as well as the accountability. Honorable members, the President is born by an oath of office to uphold the Constitution and the law of the Republic. Any arrangement that places the President in direct control, direct operational control and commercial regulation function risks to compromise that particular oath. If we are not careful, we may create a precedent where executive authority expand beyond constitutional restraint. And should we move to that, it will be a catastrophe, particularly within our constitutional democracy. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, accountability and transparency must be the cornerstone of any resource government framework. Centralizing power without equal strength and the oversight mechanism invite abuse, weakening the parliamentary scrutiny, and erode public trust. Namibia are not opposed to development. We are not opposed to development. We are opposed to unaccountable power. Honorable Speaker, the bill in its current form raises more questions than it should eventually want to answer or propose. It reflects inconsistency in the national security or stability, risk duplication of institutional roles, undermine policy continuities, and pose potential challenge to the constitutional governance. I therefore urge this House to reject this unaccountable and unconstitutional bond amendment bill. Honorable Speaker, Namibia is all we have. Namibia is not for sale. We must compensate. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I shall submit.
I give the floor to Honorable Tuhezi. Yes, what point is that, Honorable Amtenya?